Hi there, my name is Moolani. I'm a current NYU resident. I'm currently on a night shift, and I thought I would make a quick video breaking down my overall framework for how to approach the CCS section of Step 3. So in our StudyCCS platform, have a bunch of walkthroughs, and these are also available for free on YouTube. But I wanted to actually not just go through the videos, because you can watch those videos, but I wanted to give you a framework so that whenever you watch the videos, you understand exactly what I'm doing at each step. And so here I've broken down the framework in a very easy way to follow. And the whole idea is, how do you just maximize your score? And so the first thing that I always do is you get the one-liner and the vitals. And this is like the most important part, just like in patient care, in helping you triage. Should this person be in the ED? Should they be in the ICU? Should you transfer them from the office to elsewhere? And what it does is it just gives you a place to realize sick or not sick. Once you have that, then you go to the physical exam. And the physical exam here is pretty important, just because a lot of emergent cases, you have to use the physical exam in a very targeted manner. If you do a complete physical exam, it takes up a lot of time, and you may get a negative update in that meantime. But general rule of thumb I have is emergent cases, you do top 2, bottom 2, which, let me just show you what I mean. So if you go to the simulator, you'll see what looks identical to the CCS or section of Step 3. And if you go to physical exam, top 2 are these two, bottom 2 are these two. And so all emergent cases, you'll do this. If it's a GI case and semi-emergent, I would add these two. And then if it's in the office or patient's very stable, then you can go ahead and just click everything. And so that's a very easy way to just maximize your points based on the type of case it is. So like I said, emergent case, top 2, bottom 2. Abdominal GI, you add genital and rectal, and then office case, you can do a full one. And all of this, once again, is to help you just understand what may be going on. Oftentimes with the history and all, you'll have a pretty good idea, and then this kind of really just hammers it home. Now you have the stabilizing orders. These are super, super important, and you want to get these in as quickly as possible for these sick patients. And the mnemonic I use is CAMO, C for cardiac, and what you want to do is you want to type EKG specifically. Don't type anything else, because if you type in EKG, you'll get EKG monitoring, which is tele, plus you can get a 12-lead EKG. Additionally, if you type in ACC, you'll get IV access, as well as an AccuCheck glucose, which is just like a finger stick. And then M for morphine or Tylenol or any antiemetic, basically anything just to help control pain, vomiting, things of that nature. And then O for oxygen. And if you type just oxygen, you'll get oxygen therapy, which is like nasal cannula, ABG, so now you'll have a blood gas on them, and pulse ox monitoring. And so all of this helps you really stabilize them quickly. And then once you stabilize them, you'll be able to go to the diagnose section. And for diagnose section, almost every single case will get CBC, CMP, MAG, FOS, lactate, PTT, PT, UA, UDS. And then for the cardiac chest ones, you'll get the troponin, BNP, chest x-ray, EKG, lipids, A1C, and echo. For PE workup, you can get a CTA, D-dimer, lower extremity Doppler, and an echo as well. For trauma, you want to do a fast exam, a CT, basically pan scan them, pelvic x-rays, type in screen. And it really depends. The diagnose part is the one that changes frequently, both diagnose and management, just because it changes based on the case. But stabilize stays very, very similar, and just things to keep in mind. And if you go through the walkthroughs after this, you'll have a very good understanding of what this looks like in the actual simulator on test day. Then let's go to the manage part. So based on what diagnosis you get from your diagnosing orders, so if you see a STEMI, you want to treat it like ACS. And if you're treating it like ACS, then you want to put in cards consult, PCI, aspirin load, heparin load. If they get a stent, you would put them on Plavix, statin, put them on ACE, beta blocker, all these things that are things that you kind of want to think about. If you have acutely decompensated heart failure, you want to have all these orders. And so you have all of these different orders that you put based on the condition. And once again, this will change really significantly based on what your diagnosis is. But these are the things I want you to think about. And if you go through the walkthroughs, you have a way better idea. And then the last 2 minutes, so after it times out, or after you get the order that kind of ends the case, you have the last 2 minutes to put in anything and everything. I like to really type in advise and instruct, because I'll show you what it looks like. if you come here and you type in advise and you just only search that, it'll give you all of these different advising things that you can tell the patient. And so you don't even have to memorize a lot of these. Oftentimes, if you just type advice, you'll know exactly what you're looking for, and you can just click through here and get a bunch of them. Similarly, so frequent ones are smoking cessation, exercise, alcohol, illegal drug use, seatbelt. Vaccines are a huge one. And so oftentimes don't even it's important to know which vaccines you would give, but you don't have to exactly know how to spell it at all. And wasting time trying to type it correctly is a big no-no. You should just search vaccines and it'll pull up. And then similarly, if you did all of these things, but you're like, oh, I forgot to look at etiology, then this is a great time to put in all these other tests that could have helped you with etiology, lipids, A1C, TSH. And so it's a great time to just get easy points on the table. But across the board, you don't want to anchor. It's okay to overorder non-invasive tests. There's basically a 0-point penalty. You won't gain points, you won't lose points. But if you overorder, then you're more likely to get points, versus if you underorder, you won't get those points. Oftentimes using the correct timing feature in the clock is really important, because it allows you to get through the case as quickly as possible. It minimizes clicks. You obviously don't want to duplicate orders, but once again, the system doesn't allow you to duplicate orders. And so just click freely. If you don't remember, if you put something in, just click it and move on. It's way more important to go quickly than anything else. It's very, very important to put in the console, even if it adds nothing, just because oftentimes putting in the console itself can help get the case. Or if you don't know what procedure you want, but you know it's general surgery, just put in general surgery, and oftentimes that'll get you the points itself. For procedures, you want to make sure they're NPO, type and screen, PTT. These should be like automatic in your head. Similarly, if you use the speed orders mode, this is a huge unlock. So going through these cases, once you understand the format, is pretty slow. And so the better thing you can do is actually use speed order. And it's a way faster way to go through the cases, because you'll see the case and then you'll just put in a bunch of orders. And whenever I think about this, there's two batches. So first is the stabilizing orders. And so you'll put your ACC, in which you get this, you'll get the AccuCheck. You'll put in your oxygen, which will give you oxygen. You'll get your ABG. You'll get your pulse ox. So you'll put in your stabilizing orders. Then you'll put your diagnosing orders. Then once you're done with that, you hit reveal diagnosis. You'll get the diagnosis. So let's say that you still didn't know. You'll get the diagnosis. Now you can put in all the orders that are associated with that diagnosis. And what it does is it just helps you associate diagnosis with all of these orders, so that on test day, you're way, way faster. And then the biggest thing is just you really want to get good at diagnosis first, and then just toss in as all of these orders. It's really important to just get the orders in, because the orders are where the majority of your points come from. So overall, this is the framework that I use for the CCS case framework, for the CCS section of Step 3. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out.